Welcome to Stats in 5, your quick roundup of the latest stats from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica. Just 5 minutes to catch up on the numbers that matter. So, to kick off our monthly release recap is the All Jamaica Consumer Price Index, or CPI, for March 2025, which remained unchanged at 141.8, the same as the index recorded in February 2025. This was primarily due to the movements in the index of the divisions housing, water, electricity, and other fuels at 2.4%, food and non-alcoholic beverages at -1%, and transport at -2%. The point-to-point inflation rate between March 2024 and March 2025 was 5%. Influenced mainly by the point-to-point inflation rate for the divisions food and non-alcoholic beverages, 7.4%, housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels, 5.1%, and restaurants and accommodation services, 6.2%. Now moving on to the PPI, or the Producer Price Index, for the mining and quarrying industry, which increased by 0.5% for March 2025. This increase was due primarily to a 0.4% increase in the index for the major group, bauxite mining and alumina processing. Additionally, the PPI for the other major group, other mining and quarrying, rose by 1.6%. The PPI for the manufacturing industry, however, decreased by 0.6%. This was attributed to a 5% fall in the index for the major group, refined petroleum products. For the period March 2024 to March 2025, the point-to-point index for the mining and quarrying industry rose by 59.2%. This was due to an increase of 61.1% in the index for the major group, bauxite mining and alumina processing. The point-to-point index for the manufacturing industry remained relatively unchanged. The index for the major group, food, beverages, and tobacco, increased by 3.8%, while the index for the major group, refined petroleum products, fell by 13.5%. Now let's recap the international merchandise trade statistics. Jamaica's trade deficit at the end of 2024 decreased by 3% to US $5,420.8 million, when compared to US $5,590.3 million in 2023. The total spending on imports for the year was valued at $7,288 million US, while earnings from total exports was valued at $1,867.2 million US. The 5 main trading partners for January to December 2024 were the United States of America, USA, China, Brazil, Japan, and Colombia. Expenditure on imports of goods from these countries fell by 4% to US $4,445.2 million. This decrease was due largely to lower spending on imports of mineral fuels. The top 5 destinations for Jamaica's exports were the USA, the Russian Federation, the Netherlands, Canada, and Iceland. Export revenues from these countries rose by 20% to US $1,390.4 million. This increase was due to higher exports of crude materials. Finally, the quarterly report for the Labor Force Survey highlighted the findings from January 2025. The employed labor force totaled 1,419,500 individuals, reflecting an increase of 13,800 persons compared to January 2024. Employed males increased by 0.8%, while employed females increased by 1.2%. In January 2025, there were 24,300 underemployed persons. These are persons who are working part-time while wanting additional hours. This is 3,800 fewer persons than in January 2024. That's it for this edition of Stats in 5. Follow our social media pages so you never miss a release or an update, and check our website for the full breakdown of each of these releases. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next month we'll be here with more stats straight from Statin to you.